Coming up, a passenger plane loses contact with its airport just 13 minutes after takeoff. Find out what caused this Lion Air flight to crash into the sea and why search crews fear more than 100 people are dead.
And the suspect of a massacre that left 11 dead in a Pittsburgh synagogue goes to court. Find out what the judge ordered and what federal prosecutors are seeking against him.
And happening right now, a panel discussion as Remembrance Week events continue here on SU's campus. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Remembrance Week events continue into the week. Yesterday, a candlelight vigil at Hendricks Chapel began the annual commemoration for the lives that were lost. Good evening, Syracuse. I'm Elijah Shama.
And I'm Chris Venzon. Today's event is a panel at Slocum Hall. CitrusTV reporter Amber McElrath is live at Slocum Hall to preview some of the main talking points. Amber?
Hi guys, I'm here in the School of Architecture, also known as Slocum Hall. Behind me there is a panel that is going to take place. It just started at 6 o'clock p.m. and it will be ending around 8. The panel is called Overcoming the Traumas of Terrorism and is associated with Syracuse University's Remembrance Week. The panel is set to address the emotional traumas that we experience as a result of terrorism.
Experienced so many traumas, some small scale, some large scale on a day-to-day basis, be it by reading the news or seeing videos of another school shooting, another police brutality. We see these day in and day out, and we really internalize these traumas. And we think it's really important for us to acknowledge them.
The panel is open to everyone and will feature 3 panelists from Syracuse University's faculty and staff. The goal of the panel is to address 3 specific questions in addition to questions that students will also be asking. The questions are, what is terrorism? What are the traumas that are associated with terrorism? And how do we acknowledge and move forward after we experience these traumas?
We are intentionally keeping the questions simple and accessible so that we get the core conflict areas and don't retreat from them.
I'm Amber McElrath, live from Slocum Hall. Back to you in the studio.
Amber, we're glad we can have you with us tonight. Elsewhere on campus, the student organization University Union brings celebrity guests to campus each semester. But is it possible for students to have a voice on who is going to visit? CitrusTV reporter Sara Rizzo is in studio to tell us how UU decides who to bring in. Sara, how does that whole process work?
Thanks, Chris. Queer Eye's Antony Porofsky came to campus last weekend to perform a cooking demonstration and have a Q&A with students. University Union's performing arts co-directors told me how they were able to schedule Porofsky for this event. University Union's performing arts co-directors are in charge of choosing which guests to bring to campus. Co-director Talia Levy says they receive a lot of student input during the process.
At our shows, at tabling sessions, we're constantly surveying students. Based on kind of budgets and ideas, we'll come up with like a short list of people that we think students might be interested in, that might be really topical right now. And then based off that, we'll open it up to the students.
Performing arts co-director Jonah Levine says UU uses the surveys from students to see which guests are available.
We're using our data from the surveys to correspond with agencies and kind of see who's available first of all, what kind of event we're looking for. Once the contracts and offers all accepted, then things come kind of internally and we work within the University Union team.
Levine says Porofsky's event was different from other events UU has done in the past.
It's a different format than we've generally done. We were really excited about the opportunity to have a live cooking demonstration, especially one that was so tailored towards college students.
University Union in the past has brought comedians Jenny Slate, TJ Miller, and Chelsea Handler to campus. They have not yet announced the guests for their next event. Back to you guys.
Sara, thank you so much. Moving on, members of the campus community are still mourning the victims of the deadly Pittsburgh shooting on Saturday. Police say 11 officials died in a Pittsburgh synagogue during the shooting. The shooting, leaders at the synagogue, the Hendricks Chapel, Hillel and Chabad held a vigil last night on the steps of Hendrick Chapel. Over 100 student and faculty of the various faiths attended the event. The university wants to remind students, though, that the counseling center is available 24/7 and Hendricks Chapel is also available for further support.
Starting today, university employees are able to choose their job benefits for the upcoming year. Employees can go on MySlice if they wish to change the coverage in their benefits. The benefits fair will also take place tomorrow. Participants can get free flu shots, learn how to reduce stress, and how to live a healthier life. Additional information is available to employees on MySlice online. And that's not the only thing the university is doing to promote healthy living for its employees. SU released its holiday schedules for 2020 to 2022. The schedules include Orange Appreciation Days, which are considered days off for employees to enjoy the holidays. Some of the days may change depending on the university's decision. And it's been a dreary Monday, and it looks like the temperatures are dropping quick. Citrus TV weather anchor Riley Burg is here to tell us what to look for the rest of the week. Riley, give me some good news. This is at least going to stop
raining. We heard you
raining.
control the weather, Riley. Come on, what's going on?
You guys, I wish I could tell you it was going to stop raining, at least not tonight, but maybe looking into Tuesday. Taking it back to right now, though, we're seeing 41 degrees outside, pretty cloudy, and as we move into tonight, unfortunately, we are just looking at rain and snow mixes. It's going to be pretty ugly and cold, too, about 38 degrees outside. Taking a look at our radar, you can just see all this rain and snow mixed tonight. But then as we move into tomorrow, we just see some clouds. And as always with Mother Nature, she's going to give us a little tease of sun. It's going to be feeling a little warm tomorrow. I'll tell you more about it in my full weather forecast.
And 14 members of a notorious Syracuse gang are in federal custody. The suspects are part of the 110 gang, which is operated along South Avenue. The members are accused of murders, robberies, and assaults. Additionally, they're also accused of selling drugs and using a credit card fraud to turn a profit. Authorities connected the separate crimes committed throughout the city to uncover this conspiracy. 2 CNY residents are heading back to prison. Police say the Utica and Auburn natives assaulted and robbed a victim in Cayuga County last February. The 2 men spent 7 years in prison after being convicted for burglary. The second incident comes less than 4 months after the release. Each suspect faces up to 25 years in prison.
New job opportunities are coming to the Syracuse area. Charter Communication Administrators say the company is adding 100 new jobs to the regional call center in East Syracuse. The company will open the jobs in the customer service department. These employees will focus on billing and accounting of Spectrum customers across various states. Open interviews are available until tomorrow and continue into early November. In other news, Joni Mahoney did it first, but now another Syracuse County executive is stepping down from office. Deputy County Executive Bill Fisher announced he'll leave his position at the beginning of next year. County administrators say Fisher will continue his work with the incoming deputy until 2019. The incoming county executive, Ryan McMahon, did not say who would replace Fisher at this time.
Syracuse's 11th beer-making business is coming soon. Talking Cursive Brewery Company will open its doors in 2019. The brewery will be located in the Creekwalk Commons across the street from the National Grid building. Co-owner and brewer Andrew Brooks plans to serve craft beers more on the creative side, such as the Italian Grape Ale. Brooks and his wife will open with 15 taps and a small bar food menu. The couple visited over 150 breweries across the country after deciding to start the company.
New York State is investing over $9 million toward the Bel Air Scout Mountain Ski Resort. Governor Cuomo hopes this move will help promote year-round tourism in the Catskills. The money will primarily go towards modernizing the resort's Discovery Lodge. Other upgrades include expanding the rental shop and the outdoor deck. New York has invested over $33 million in the ski area over the past 7 years. Cuomo expects the job to be complete by November 2019. Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh plans to announce the new police chief in the coming few weeks. The search to replace current Chief Frank Fowler has narrowed down to 3 finalists. Here to explain the search process and break down the 3 candidates is Citrus TV correspondent Anthony DeBundo. Anthony?
3 finalists, 2 outsiders, and 1 from right here in Syracuse. The 2 outside candidates are current Durango, Colorado Chief Cameron Afzal and Little Rock Chief Kenton Buckner. The 3rd finalist is current Deputy Chief Joe Cecil. Now, Walsh tasked Deputy Mayor Sharon Owens to find a new chief this spring. She hosted 8 forums to gather community input, and the city hired a search firm to scan the country and find other qualified candidates. Owens said that the new chief must have experience in urban policing and diverse communities. Afzal has been the Durango chief since last April. It's a mostly white town of 16,000. Buckner has led the Little Rock department since 2014. It's a city bigger than Syracuse, and his staff there outnumbers the Syracuse police by more than 100 officers. Fowler endorsed Cecil in April, but Owens said at a forum that Fowler has no actual input on the decision. Many Syracuse residents and the Citizens Review Board said they wanted to see changes within the department. Common Councilor Joe Driscoll said back in April that local hiring of officers is an important priority for any new chief. He said that 93% of Syracuse police officers live outside the city. It remains to be seen whether or not the new chief also comes from outside Syracuse. Back to you guys.
And coming up, another package discovered at an Atlanta facility addressed to CNN. We have all the updates on the packages sent to prominent Democrats and the news network.
And German Chancellor Angela Merkel is stepping down from her position and from her party leadership. Find out why she's leaving the role she's held for nearly 20 years. Citrus TV will be right back.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. We have an update on the shooting at the Pittsburgh synagogue that took the lives of 11 people. U.S. Marshals brought forward suspect Robert Bowers in a wheelchair just hours after his release from the hospital.
The suspect declined to have charges and penalties read. The judge then ordered Bowers to return to the jail until a preliminary hearing. Federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against him. Memorials outside the Tree of Life synagogue are currently ongoing to honor the victims.
The federal magistrate judge scheduled a hearing for Thursday, November 1st at 10 a.m. At that time, we will have the opportunity to present evidence demonstrating that Robert Bowers murdered 11 people who were exercising their religious beliefs, and that he shot or injured 6 others, including 4 of whom were police officers responding to the shooting.
And new updates on the string of suspicious packages sent across the nation. Now, a week since the discovery of the first explosive, an Atlanta post office intercepted another package addressed to CNN headquarters today. The city police department says that it looks similar to the pipe bombs discovered last week. This is the third suspicious package that the news network has received.
The FBI arrested suspect Cesar Sayoc on Friday. Law enforcement officials discovered Sayoc's list of more than 100 potential targets. A judge has read the 5 charges against him. Sayoc will appear in court again on Friday. Defense officials say the Pentagon will send 5,000 more troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. The troops are expected to prevent the walking migrant caravan from making its way into the U.S.
The operation will run from early November to mid-December. The Pentagon says that there are already more than 2,000 National Guard personnel at the border. The U.S. will continue to negotiate with Mexico as the group moves north. And new details on the fatal airplane crash in Indonesia last night that reportedly left no survivors. Flight officials say all 189 passengers and crew members on the Lion Air flight are feared to have perished after the jet crashed into the sea. The flight lost contact with air control just 13 minutes after taking off. Shortly before losing contact, the plane's pilot reported technical difficulties and asked to return to the airport.
Right. Traffic control agents said they agreed to allow the plane to return, but by then it was too late. The Lions airline president stated that the plane had gone for repairs before the fatal flight. However, officials do not yet know what the cause of the crash was. And another deadly air crash, but this time in Leicester, England. On Saturday, a helicopter crashed near King Power Stadium, home to the Leicester City Football Club. None of the passengers on board survived. Investigators say the helicopter belonged to the football club's owner.
The list of the victims include club owner Vishai Sridhanaprava and other club officials. A witness to the crash says that the pilot managed to avoid buildings and people as the helicopter fell from the sky. Nobody on the ground was injured. And big news out of Germany. German Chancellor Angela Merkel announced that she will not seek re-election after the end of her term. This comes after a weak performance in state elections on Sunday.
Merkel will also step down as party leader at the end of this year. It's a position she's held since 2000. The chancellor says she takes full responsibility for the election results. Critics say her decision to not seek re-election marked her withdrawal from politics. Her term officially ends in 2021. And in Tokyo, a member of the royal family has relinquished her royal title on her wedding day. Princess Aiko married Japanese commoner Kei Moriya at the Meiji Shrine outside Tokyo. Moriya does not, however, descend from royal lineage. So by marrying Moriya, Aiko forsakes her royal title, Elijah.
The princess is the youngest child of the two royal figures in Japan, which makes her the niece of the emperor. Despite her departure from royalty, Princess Aiko says that she remains supportive of the family. And coming up, this weekend's nor'easter whipped through New Jersey and New York, but did it affect much of upstate New York? Riley Burg tells us in her full weather forecast in 90 seconds.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. Like I told you, tomorrow it's going to be pretty cloudy outside, but the sun will be peeking out all day till it sets around 6 p.m. Looking at your morning commute tomorrow, about 38 degrees outside, a little brisk, a little chilly. It is going to warm up around lunchtime though, 44 degrees outside and then 45 as we move into 6 p.m. And as for highs around the state tomorrow, we're looking at 52 in Rochester, 54 in Elmira, and then we're seeing highs in the 40s towards Syracuse and Cortland. And as for updates on the northeastern that hit this weekend, we saw some rain here in upstate New York, but not nearly as much as what hit New Jersey. 2.43 inches of rain hit the state on Saturday, in addition to wind gusts that reached 65 miles per hour. It left 35,000 people without power during the storm's peak, and flooding and falling trees caused several roads to close down, but those roads were cleared quickly. And now to give you the latest on what's happening in the sports world, here's Jonah Karp.
Coming up, Syracuse football team had a chance to become bowl eligible for the first time in 5 years this weekend. First, the Orange needed to get past number 22 NC State on Saturday. Plus, the baseball world has a new champion. All that and more in just 2 minutes.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Jonah Karp. Following last week's thrilling victory over UNC, the Syracuse football team was sitting on 5 wins. 6 wins means bowl eligibility, and the Orange had a chance to make that happen for the first time in 5 years against the number 22 NC State team on Saturday. Well, these two teams have squared off 11 times in their history, and 10 of those wins have gone to the Wolfpack. Big question entering the ballgame: who's getting the start behind center? Answer: Eric Dungey, and he was airing it out early on. 82-yard bomb to Nykeem Johnson to start the ballgame. I mean, my goodness. And Eric Dungey wasn't done there, not even in the first quarter. 20 yards out, Jamal Custis reeling in that touchdown. Syracuse was rolling in the first, but NC State started to come back, especially in the second half. Brady Bodine from 1 yard out scores a touchdown. Syracuse only up by 1 score, and Ryan Finley directing traffic. He was leading the charge late in the ball game. 12-yard touchdown strike to Kelvin Harmon. All of a sudden, the SU lead evaporated to just 3. 44-41. Ryan Finley with a chance to tie it or take the lead, but he was hit and he was picked off by Andrew Armstrong. Coming up huge, SU in business, only up 3. Dante Strickland, though, putting the icing on the cake with 1 minute to go. And SU took the 51-41 victory. They're going bowling first time since 2013 that's happened. And Dino Babers addressing what that means to the seniors earlier today.
I'm so excited for the seniors. You know, to be able to play college football at the highest level is such a gift given. And for them not to have an opportunity to ever have a winning season, it was so sad. It hurt me, physically hurt me. And to have an opportunity to be able to let them experience that is something I'll always cherish and something I'll always be proud of.
Well, with that victory over NC State, Syracuse can party like it's 2001, getting some love in the polls. 22nd in the AP poll, 24th in the coaches poll. First time in 17 years, Orange football has cracked the top 25 in both lists. There are 4 AC schools ranked now, also Notre Dame, who the Cuse plays in 3 weeks. Meanwhile, the Syracuse men's soccer team was home on Friday hosting Boston College in its final regular season game. Both teams locked in defensively, so much so that after 2 overtimes, the Orange and the Eagles ended up finishing tied at 0. The shutout is the 3rd of the season for goalkeeper Hendrik Hilpert. He now has 23 in his career, which is 3rd most in Syracuse history. Next up for the Orange, a trip to Blacksburg, Virginia to face Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament. That game this Wednesday. And speaking of overtime games, women's ice hockey fell to Clarkson 4-3 in overtime on Saturday. That came just a day after a 6-2 home loss to the Golden Knights. That was their worst home loss this season. Syracuse is now riding a 3-game losing skid and has fallen to 4 of the 5 teams it's faced so far this season. And Syracuse women's ice hockey still in the middle of their season, but a professional sport wrapped up last night. The Boston Red Sox are World Series champions. The team, once cursed by the great Bambino, now has 4 titles since 2004. That's the most in baseball. Meanwhile, the Dodgers lost the Fall Classic for the 2nd year in a row, and that happened again on their home turf. First time that's happened in 81 years. And in the NFL, a couple more losses for the Jets and the Giants yesterday. The Bills, though, look to put a positive stamp on the Week 8 for New York football. It's a toughie. The Patriots are traveling to Buffalo tonight. Tom Brady is 28-3 all-time in his career against the Bills. No quarterback in NFL history has more wins against a single team, and Brady hasn't lost to Buffalo in 4 years, guys.
Jonah, thank you. Excellent as always. We really appreciate you. I'm really interested to see how that Bills-Pats game comes out tonight. We'll be back with another check of your weekly weather tomorrow in just about 30 seconds.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And welcome back. Feeling a little bit under the weather, maybe the cold's giving you a cold. Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be warming up much this week. As you can see, 50s for the most part. We're seeing some rain, some clouds. It's not going to be pretty, guys. Not getting much better.
So, it's not going to be pretty, but what should we be wearing?
Well, let me tell you, if we take a look at our screen up here, you're going to see my friend Paige Seeley. She is wearing a nice bundled up sweater and a nice warm coat. That's probably what you're going to want to wear for most of the week.
All right, Riley, thank you.
Riley, thank you so much. That's all the time that we have for tonight. Follow us on Twitter and on Facebook for your full news coverage. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Chris Venzon.
And I'm Elijah Shama. Have a good evening, Syracuse.